Reggae interviews. Word sound power.
Today we reason with one of dancehall's most distinctive voices, Burro Banton. Known for his thunderous delivery, cultural consciousness, Burro has been a pillar of Jamaican sound system culture from the 1970s right through to the digital age. Whether it was mashing up the dance with Volcano, Killamanjaro, or voicing anthems like Bumadis, his influence carries through for generations to come. The original Burro Banton, the lyrics Banton, give thanks for joining us here from Tell Studio.
Peace is in thy words and prosperity in thy policies, man. It's good to be here because this is the music, you know. It's not really like about for Burro Banton alone. I love the music and the music takes me there. Yeah, the music is the forefront. Yeah, reggae music is the forefront of anybody that loves to do reggae. You know, yeah. So
I really love that mindset that you just come in with. The most important thing in this conversation today is not Burro Banton. It's not about us, but it's about the music.
Yeah, well, you see, without the music, nobody would know me. You know, see it, and most of all, the fans. Without the fans, Burro would be nothing.
True.
Yeah, you know, see, so the fans make Burro, and I do the music. So that's where music, you get the love for music, and the music loves you back.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. Now, I see you as one of the pioneers of a craft that is somewhat lost in today's modern world, the art of DJing, freestyling over a live sound system. A skill or craft that you could never go to a school to ever learn.
Well, hear me. You see, this thing now, I really start this thing like from back in the days when my mentor was like Ranking Joe.
Yes.
And when I say Ranking Joe first, I used to say, you know, I want to do that work. Yeah, because he is one of the pioneer of doing rubber dub music around the sound. Yes, not for that record, but around the sound. For far back in the days, we never really believe in record. Yeah, we believe like, for you get a fame out of music, you would have to learn to DJ a sound.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, ride the rhythm like for 4 or 5 hours straight for the night. Yeah, that's how I really learned it. I learned it from Ranking Joe. You know, yeah.
I mean, you took your first footsteps into the music industry or the sound system industry almost 50 years ago, and it's great that you're still here, you're still standing strong.
Well, here we really go on now. First, it's positive thinking and effective speech. So, if you think positive and come effect, you're going to have it on the people them. And it's like, for years, that make you strong in the music. You know, because the music is like, for me, one of those man in the music that stand up so long, yeah, you have to learn the craft the right way first. Yeah.
Okay, well look, I want to take you back to those early days in Kingston when you were learning that craft. But before we do that, tell our viewers, which community did you come up in, and how did that environment shape your first steps as a DJ?
Well, my community, when I learned the craft, is a place named Grandspen.
Okay.
And in Grandspen now, I was like the first youth in those days. I was a youth, so I was the first youth that take it like that, because enough people never really take it that strong. Like DJ could take you anywhere. You know, cause DJ, enough people just take DJ. It's just for my dance. So, cause even myself when I started, I never know I could make a career out of music, because when I start music in those days now, Jamaica was like very violent, and for you go through all communities, you have to be something that the next community and the next community, when you pass, the next community can say, there is Burro Banton, there is Burro, there is Burro. So nobody will do you nothing, because like you're protected.
Yes.
You're protected by the communities.
Right.
Because back in like 70s, coming up to 80s, that was one of the most violent time. Even just growing up, school, all of those places, you know, the time, that was the time. That was the time. You know, it just grow up violent. So if you want to live long, then you know that the communities around you should know you. Yeah, so in those days now, I used to see like Rankin Joe, Hugh Brown, Rankin Trevor, and I see, cause this time was when the politics start in Jamaica. You have labor right, you have PNP. But I notice these DJ can go to any area, any side, whether labor right or PNP, and the people just with you. You know?
Right.
So that's why I take up this work. Because in those days I never have no talk about career. I just want to save my life. Growing up as a youth, because enough youth was getting slow and enough youth is dropping out. So, you know, that helped me till today. That even the youth grow up now, the younger youth grow up, and they still know me. Yeah, because I was from then. Yeah, you know. Most of their mother and fathers, I was with them. So in the household, they would bring my name in the household and say, yeah, when I go dance not too long, you know, say, a Burro just smash up the place, you know. Yeah, and a Burro do this, you know, and a Burro do that. So I grew up with that, and then the youth now take it from mommy and daddy and still know about Burro Banton. Yeah.
In my head today, I'm sort of thinking that you must have been just a little boy when you first started to make up the lyrics and going on sound systems. So I think one of the early sounds that you played on was a sound called Black Hoover sound.
Yeah.
How did you take those first steps from being a little boy to getting onto a sound? Because, you know, a lot of the singers back then would go into things like talent contests, so things like Vera John's, the Carib Theatre. But how did a young Burro Banton take his first footsteps onto a black sound system?
No, well, in them days, you know, first, we used to be like a clap on DJ. Like in the community, a man that's up on the corner, when they come out on the corner now, yeah, Burro can make up the lyrics, but I didn't have a sound those days. Like to go DJ and a sound. You know, so I could just make up lyrics every day. Anywhere we go, school, yeah. So I have a friend named Errol Fago, and him said to me, say, one day he made me build a lyrics, and him said, where you get that lyrics? And I said to him, say, no, I just build it up. It just come to me, you know. And him say, you know, say, you like he's inspired. Yeah, because I'm trying to do the same thing, and it don't come to me like how it come to you. Yeah. And I say, well, it's like the gift of God is, you know.
Yes.
That's my gift, what I get from God. And I see it. So, but those days now, I would be like, what I call it? Me would call it now like a road beat DJ. Yeah, I was like at the plaza, at the bus stop, but I didn't get a sound.
Okay.
So a little sound now, they build a little sound in the area in Grand Spen. And a couple of us going to the sound to start, you know, because it's just a practice thing. This wasn't a career thing yet. Till everybody started to say, you know, say, the little sound fit Burro. You look at something come like a Burro, it make fine because here how Burro deal with it. Burro just come in like say a theme thing. Then the next thing now is learning to ride the rhythm.
Rhythms.
Yeah, because it's riding the rhythm now that make you even more stronger and more people. Cause that is something where the whole dancehall community check for somebody like a ranking Joe who can ride the rhythm, ride out every rhythm for the whole night. So that's how I start now and black over and till I reach a liquor sound now named Roots Unlimited. Yeah, and Roots Unlimited now I go and I really find now some other youth where I see like their talent is really good too. Yes.
This is people like what? Josie Wales,
Wales,
Jim Kelly.
Yeah, Jim Kelly. You know, one of them died early. Jim Kelly. So we always competing now against each other. Yeah, people want to know which one out of us is the best. Then they have another a youth. He migrated to America and he didn't come back. He named Santa Rankin.
Okay. Yep.
You know, then from there, so now I started to spread out. Then more people start to tell me about now a DJ named Brigadier. And I said, Briggy, all right, where he's from? And them say, like, Papine, down the wall. So I say, all right, here we do now. And Fridays, his sound is playing in Papine. So I'm going to try to leave my school, go to his school, and kill the time there till night come. Then I'll try to compete with him. Yeah, because don't feel no way. He is one of the best ever do a sound. Yeah, Rankin Joe is my teacher, but Brigadier, he comes like how me come in the game too. Him just come from school days, come straight up. So when time come up now, and someone say, boy Burro, a Brigadier of the man, you know. You know, someone I say, no man, a Burro of the man, you know. And I said, but we never really take it like that. Until we change sound now. And started to try to get on a big sound. Yeah.
Because back then you were not known as Burro Banton, you were just simply known as Burro.
Papa Burro.
Papa Burro. Okay.
Yeah, because I see the first time I ever try going out there now, because in those days now, the top DJ, everybody would be like Rankin Trevor, Rankin Joe. Some of you want name Rankin Burro. And then my teacher, which is Rankin Joe, I tried to clash with him.
Okay.
This is now Sturgraph versus a sound name, At Sizzler. And then now, Rankin Joe schooled me. He take me to school that night. And cause that's how I get firm in the game now. Yeah, because Rankin Joe win the night.
Right.
Yeah, you know? And from there, I just move on. Yeah.
Now, as well as moving from one sound to another, you were also taking your first steps in professional recordings. Talk us through the first recording that you did, which was called Wha Dis General.
Well, what was around that time, I'm still in Blackover, and you have a little singer named General Plow.
Okay.
He is the first one ever tell me, say, Burro recorded something, you know. And him tell me, say, I'm have a rhythm. But at the same time, they killed three good sound man. in Jamaica. One of them could say he was the best DJ, which is General Echo. And then I say, since you have a rhythm like this and Echo dead, here what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to be like a lyrics after them man they were just gone. And I see some come up with that song. Since General Echo, he was one of the man. So when him dead now, I say, what the general now? Now that Echo him dead and gone, Papa Burro come for nice up the land. So who police kill out a halfway tree? Echo Big John and Flux. Cause that was the style. In them time. And so that is my first record in our studio. Yeah.
How popular, how successful was that first recording, both locally in Jamaica and internationally?
No, well, the truth, I never really know about the popular thing yet.
Okay.
On record, because I do this record, I feel like I'm going to make a bag of money. Then General Plow now, I can't see him for a while he's out there trying to get the song across to all of the stations and them things. So when I start hearing myself now on the radio, I say, General Plow, I make the whole of the money. I'm not bring none, come give it. But that time I don't even know, say he was paying radio selectors.
Okay.
To play the song. Yes, so it pushed me out there first, but it's not really like it's a big hit. Yeah.
I mean, some of your other early singles back then were singles like Horseman, Guide for Greg Gordon.
Yeah. Well, Horseman now, when Horseman thing come in now, I start get it a little right. Get the DJ thing right now. Then you have a DJ now named Sassafras. Why them say Sassafras? He is the Horseman. And I was trying to get on Sassafras sound, which is Black Scorpio. You know, kind of the same time now. Yellow Man was apprentice like myself too. And he wanted it to get on Black Scorpio too. So when we got to Black Scorpio in the night, Sassafras only give us one rhythm to DJ and for the night. Yes, cause Yellow Man get one DJ, one rhythm to ride, and then when I say, oh, like him DJ about him run second in our DJ competition that keep in a Ronnie Williams.
Okay.
Then now me that come in now and choose them say Sassafras are the Horseman. Me want to say me is a Horseman DJ too. Cause I love to buy the race horse and go buy the track. Yeah, so maybe the lyrics I fight now. Horseman them a money man. Say Horseman them a money man. Say Burro know everything about the race horse. Say man me know more about horse more than Sassafras. Keep them in a stable, make them comfortable. Feed them pan air and you feed them pan grass. Burro know everything about the race horse. So Horseman them a money man. You know, that's when I'm start. Until Sassafras said that I'm getting real good now. And him said to me, say, go and get a sound for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, since you're getting to be a big DJ and people knowing about you now, what you do then? Go get your own sound. So after that now, I leave there now, and it's not like say I really go get my own sound, because those days for you getting a big sound, it was very hard. Yeah. So I got to Gemini.
Okay. Ringo and Welton.
Yeah, Ringo and Welton was the leader. Squidly was the warm-up man for the night. Yes, so it ended up now where be Ringo, Welton, Burro and Squidly.
Who was the selector at the time for Gemini back then?
Archie.
Archie, okay.
Yeah, Archie was the selector. You know, so right there now, that's where my fame going come now. Yeah, because when I'm DJing on Gemini now, enough people would saying that like, Burro getting better than Ringo and Welton Irie.
Okay.
So the crowd want to run with Burro now. Yeah, and worse, I come with a style where everybody want to use the same style. The style where I go, cause that's right there. But in the first set I record, I never get to use my style.
Yeah, because your style kind of like, I think, evolved into the way that we know Burro Banton now.
Yeah, but before I get to use it, Welton Irie use it on a song named Living in the Army. Hey, but they didn't really say it like how I say, and then every DJ, young DJ coming up want to use that style. So when they take my things to another sound or another DJ, they would get a big forward for it. And then Papa San wouldn't like it. You know, it's for Burro, and everybody is coming around him. Come use it, and it's like it's their things. So he build a record out of it and say, I feel Burro Banton, Lord, whoa, you feel King Yellow Man, you know? Yeah, so alright, so that thing that come and start now. Yeah.
When you first joined Gemini Sound, was there almost like a hierarchy where you're the new DJ on the block, and do you have this hierarchy where the existing DJs kind of hold the mic and you have to work your way up?
Well, yes, it's like that, because enough time now, I would be like the warm-up. Me and Squidly would go in the early part.
Okay.
At the night, like from all 8 o'clock coming up, and then Ringo and Welton and I would come like about 11, 12.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so when they come now at most parties now, the dance really get rama ready. Enough people is there. So when them take the mic from me, they don't want to give me back. And then the crowd would start crying. Yeah, give Burro the mic. Give up Burro the mic. So that's how I started. Yeah. To get the fame now. Then when time we reach to a point, then Ringo and Welton Irie, them never really love it. Because they was the big thing from early, before Burro come. Yeah, so they leave the sound. So the sound now only have Burro and Squidly. Yeah.
This was a Gemini, obviously had the Gemini Club at Halfway Tree. Some memories of Gemini Club.
Well, Gemini Club now was, it was like the first stage of sending a lot of youth that coming up to the big time. Like, you have Burro, Yellow Man, Tayan. So on Wednesday night time now, every DJ will come and get a touch off the mic. Yeah, because that's how the crowd. It was one of the sound first to carry this big massive crowd. Because even in those days I wonder, how Gemini always have that crowd. Then I get to find out why the crowd is there most time. It's like through Halfway Tree, you got one show house, which is Odeon.
Okay.
Then in Crossroad now you have State, Regal and Carib. So when these show house finish in the night, then enough people don't really ready to go home yet.
Okay. So that's why Gemini Club had the popularity.
Gemini always get that crowd. Yeah, so the crowd come there now, and then they pick out who is doing it good. Because more time it's not just one somebody for the night. Because this on a Wednesday night it's not like this. Ringo and Welton area, DJ from all over would come to get them start.
Right,
yeah.
Okay. Were there any specific DJs that you sparred with on the mic that really helped to push your lyrical game? Who were you really close to in terms of working together on a sound back then?
Well, the truth, Josie will.
Right.
Yeah, because me and Josie come from Roots Unlimited now. And then now, the two of us growing. None of us was no real big DJ yet. We was growing, so him helped me and I helped him.
So there was a strong energy between the two of you.
Yeah, believe it, you know. Yeah, right there. Cause that's how now I get the power now. For know that I could stand up for this long time. Yeah.
Now you stayed on Gemini, I think, for around about 2 years, around about 82, 83. One of the last sessions that you did at Gemini, what do you remember about that? This was at Up Park Camp in July 83. Do you remember that session? The last time you performed on Gemini sound?
No, that wasn't really the last night, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but dance used to keep over camp, earring, and it was real the crowd used to come. Cause I hear why the crowd used to come now. Security. Yeah, the soldier is there, so you can't come with no badness and them thing. They have to come principle, and you know, and they are around there for see that everything is right.
Right.
Your shirt have to into your pants, like in your neat and everything. So, but one of the biggest night now, it's close to the upper camp. A dance hall, they used to call it Kingston Park. So it's here to know I really going to know how good I was. Cause this was Gemini birthday, the sound birthday. And them keeping it in Kingston Park. So when I got to Kingston Park now, it's like Gemini say to me, Burro, I don't want you to touch the mic. But him never tell me right why him don't want her to touch the mic. So I was there and what if a DJ come? I was DJing on the sound first before. Then one time, like about 11 o'clock going into 12 o'clock, I said like Gemini don't remember me to tell me for go and DJ. But he have something planned for me, and
Okay.
which I didn't know
about.
Yeah. So when I go now and broke the rules, I said don't touch the mic. I go and touch the mic. And when I go and touch the mic, and like I take one of the rhythm and say, this is a typical way how a man should ride a rhythm. And when I start, I just see everybody start to jump the fence. Yeah, the crowd will start. And everybody never get to pay to come in the party.
Okay.
So Gemini come around to me and say, I tell you, don't touch the mic. You see why? You see why I tell you say don't touch the mic? And then right there, so now I get to find out, say, oh, so I am the number one guy now. Because the crowd is acting like that for me. If I just can't say Skeff, and then the whole crowd want to reach in the party, because they don't want nothing to leave them now when Burro DJ, then it's right there. I get, you know, so that's one of my last time to DJing on Gemini. Yeah. You know, because them days, you know, I used to get like about $80 a night. You know, and a Christmas Eve, I remember, I go to Skateland, nobody's in the dance. Everybody's buying the Christmas on the street. But I hear this sound and I never really hear the sound yet. And I hear the sound come and play. First I walk in Skateland and buy two Heineken and was drinking. And then I hear the sound start play some different kind of record. They'll playing in the ghetto tonight. Da-da-da-da-da. And I say, Gemini have them record there. Where that sound that come from? So I sit down and I say, I say, this sound, whether Burro DJ it or not, this song gonna be the leading sound in Jamaica because I know music. And when I hear some different kind of music, I know says this the crowd going to take on. Then I ask a brother named Ted. Say, who sound? And him tell me, say, Mr. Harper. So, Mr. Harper wasn't there the night. I check him back a different time. I say to him, sir, when I find him, I say, Mr. Harper, I would love to DJ this sound, And he said to me, say, no, I have 3 DJ already. But that time I didn't even know, say, one of the DJ was one of my DJ brother, which is Jim Kelly.
From Roots Unlimited.
Yeah, from Roots Unlimited. So he said to me, say, Burro, me hear about you, And me hear say your body, but the truth, from Killamanjaro, I don't own the mic. Jim Kelly won the mic. So I said to him, say, Jim Kelly? Which Jim Kelly? He's from Spanish Town? And him say, yeah. Then him say, if Jim Kelly wanted to work on the sound, then I can give you the work.
Okay. So really it was Jim Kelly's validation that got you to be on Jaro sound around about 84.
Yes.
Something like that.
So I said to him, say, if it's a Jim Kelly that I know, I get the job already. Cause Jim Kelly wasn't even there. But I tell him, say, if it's a Jim where I really know, cause me and Jim come on the same sound, Roots Unlimited. Yeah, and him say, all right. So when I see Jim say, yeah man, I right thing that you're doing, Burro. Yeah man, I wait for DJ, my sound is not bad. I tell him, say, yeah. So the first night now, I got to, the first night, he was playing in Skateland. So I tell Peter Metro about this sound. And him say, him never hear the sound yet. And I say, Peter, come here, go listen to the sound. And when we got it now, we DJ like for about 2 hours. Because we really have our sound, which is Gemini to go back to, and he got Metro Media to go to. But when for the 2 hour DJ, Papa Jaro, cause that's how we call Mr. Harper, Papa Jaro, him give we $1,000 and say share that for the 2 hours.
Okay, so we've gone from 80 to 1,000 between the two of you.
But I didn't really work in it on that sound. So what I try I do, I go back, cause I didn't really want to leave Gemini. I go back to Gemini and tell Gemini, I say, I'm asking for a raise up here.
Okay.
And I'm not really asking from $80 to $500. I say, I only want, make it to be $100.
Right.
And Papa Gemini said to me, say, no, Burro man, I only have to pay, And I said, $80 a night now go work in Papa Gemini because I know our next song, because I tell him the truth. I say, I know our next song willing to pay me more money than $80. So he said to me, say, well, if you know our next song if I can pay you more, go ahead. Because to me, Gemini never really know that another song would come and take the crowd.
But they did. I mean, Jaro was unstoppable back in those times.
No, I was even one of the man. I never this crowd now. I leave Gemini. They come to Jaro with me. You know, yeah, because I was the favorite, the crowd favorite. So any sound I got to, then the crowd follow.
Yeah.
So it come now. So till Jaro start come and ease the sound now. That me and Jim Kelly, a youth named Dirty Harry, we start DJ the sound and the sound start run the thing. You know, till Jim Kelly die. I'm sure Jim Kelly in Spanish Town and kill him. But every night I go to that's nobody never even know the reason why I leave Killamanjaro. Because every night I go to the dance. It's like Kelly is still there with me.
Okay.
And I never like that feelings for know that him dead and gone. It coming like every time I look I still seeing him. So it's you know, I kind of ease off the sound. And in that same time, you know, you have a sound named Volcano coming in.
Henry Junjo Laws.
Yeah, so I got to Volcano. And the first night Volcano play out. Cause them didn't even have a DJ yet for Volcano. The first night it play, everybody was just trying out on the sound. Then everybody hold the mic, it a DJ a little and leave, because more DJ have to come in. Because he was just looking for the DJ for the sound. So Yellow Man come and him DJ. And after I go into the room, and when I go into the room and for my hold the mic and go, then you can't know, sir. And the DJ for the sound that coming out. Yeah, because that's how I get the work.
True.
It's not even like John Jalas give me the work. Like the crowd, give me the work. The crowd that's what's there on the road, give me the work right away. You know? So my DJ a couple songs and leave out. Then I say, John Joe, second, come and call me. And say, John Joe wanna talk to you. I go to John Joe now, him said to me, say, Burro, like I hear a sound now. I say, no sir. I like a Jaro on my sound. And I say, no, but the people, let me tell you, say I hear a sound listening. And I hear them, and I hear the road go on. You hear every zinc fence rackle. Everything in the road turn up. So I said to him, say, anyway, I'm tell you the truth. I'm not loyal to sound. I'm loyal to money. This is the time when I want to make some money. And him say, all right, how much you want? And I say, use your discretion. Then I see the same brother that come and call me and tell me like John Joe. Call me and just say, to him, like him say, Bello, deal with Burro there. And he give me a check for $32,000. And this is the first ever worth so much money. And I'm like, I say, what? No, man, a Volcano, I'm a guy now. Yeah, I got a Volcano now. Because even when I get the check, and I start to walk and show all of my friend them, what John just give me. So you see, even when I got to change the check, the bank couldn't even take the check because the check gets so dirty.
Okay.
Yeah, because the check have to show so much people. For sure, say the truth, why am I going to leave Jaro sound, see it there for money. You know, so that's how now I'm coming now, I start DJ.
On Volcano.
And Volcano.
I guess that growing up, there was the love of the music, but then at the same time you had to balance that with supporting yourself and your family, so you had to have the financial reward as well.
No, well them days I never even start a family yet.
Okay.
No, you know, more just a freelance out there, but the main thing those days as a DJ, you have to look like the DJ. You have to have clocks on your foot. You know, you'd have some pants length. Cause them time this never come in yet. Them call it Spangler stripe.
Okay, yeah.
So everybody, you have to have a Spangler stripe. Them you have to have an arrow shirt, and you have to have a felt hat on the side of your head. So you look like the DJ. You have to look like you are the, cause you are leader. A massive, you know. Cause everybody looking up to you. So he's not like a road boy in the street. When him come to the party, and him go saying like him I say, I want a shirt like a Burro have on, you know. I want a clocks like Burro one. So that's cause even today, music that's why enough young DJ don't get too far. Because they don't know how to put themselves together to make the crowd run with them. The main two of us come there, that is Beanie Man and Elephant Man.
Okay.
Yeah. Them they know to put themselves together the right way for the crowd.
Okay.
You know, yeah, cause Jamaica people, we are some bossy people. Yeah, you know, so if you are gonna lead them, you have to really look like the leader.
Right. So what you're saying is it wasn't just about the lyrical delivery, but it was the full package, the presentation, the image, the style, everything. Everything.
Because if you go around the sound and you don't look the right way, like the mouse say, oh, now dirty boy that, you know. Dirty boy can't come DJ the sound, so you have to look like the DJ, you know.
You got to play the part, really.
Yeah, because even like one of the first man who I used to watch with that was Hugh Brown. Yeah, Hugh Brown always be them time we call it say, yeah, Chris. Hugh Brown are the Chrisest DJ. Cause when you see them man in them clocks, it look like them never even walk in night.
Okay.
When them come a party. And I saw you sit down and watch that. I know, say, yeah. Me, now as a youth, I come up and a young youth have to outdo that. You know, because it's a different set of a youth coming up that time now. So you have to outdo who was there before you.
Before you.
Yeah, so you have to be that somebody there.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Your debut album was recorded for Volcano, the album self-titled Burro, that had songs like If Me A Chat, Altahan, Tenement. One thing that I kind of realised is that when we look at other DJs in that era, they recorded for lots of other producers, whereas I feel that your recordings on record were kind of limited just to a few people. Why was that?
Because in them days, I never really believe in record. Because record never used to like it carrier in Jamaica to be like that number one DJ. Cause when I look at Ranking Joe and them man, they never have no bag of record, you know. All of the DJ them we have as big DJ first never used to do a lot of record, cause even to me, one of the man who me know that earth like myself today is Brigadier. Cause a lot of DJ come and do Brigadier lyrics. You understand? And run record. So if we was doing record from in those days, today we'd be more up.
Yeah.
You know? So but in them days, you know, cause even one night personally what stand out to me, I say like as one of the DJ first we have two of the baddest record was Michigan and Smiley.
Okay.
Diseases, you know, and when them come at that time, this is even before me even take on Gemini. You'd have a sound before that named Virgo. And Welt and I was DJing on Virgo first. Yes, then I won. But when Michigan and Smiley was #1 in Jamaica, I said them come to Virgo. And then just get for DJ 2 songs where them have on record. And then Welt and I would put them on the sound box to sit down after. And him alone DJ for the
whole night.
Yeah, so it made me feel like, say, if you can't do the whole night, then you're not gonna be the #1 DJ. Yeah, it never really come out on a record until Yellow Man come.
He changed the game.
Yeah, because Yellow Man come now and start the record. You know? Because if you even listen back some of Yellow Man songs, my name in them. You know? Yeah, but all the time still we never really believe in a record yet.
I always kind of wondered that, because I think that back then it was normal that singers and DJs would work with producers like Henry Junjo Laws, but then at the same time they'd also go on record for people like George Pang.
Of course.
But with yourself, I think you had one song that you released with George Pang on the boxing rhythm, Chicken Farm.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Because, you know, that time, you know, I kind of holding back.
Okay.
I never wanted to leg on myself. Like give George Pang, and don't know how the money was going to come in. You understand? And I was around George Pang for a while. So I say, all right, George Pang, get some rhythm built by Sly and Robbie. Yeah, so when I go to the studio now, I make sure I do one song. I never do a whole album.
Okay.
No, the only album I kind of do for George Pang was a live album. It was still on the same Killamanjaro.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, I do a live album. But like doing 45s, I wasn't. Yeah, because I didn't sign a contract. I don't even know, because the truth, them and they are bad man. You understand? So you can work and money come in and you won't get none the same way. You know? Although I have to give respect to George Pang still. Because George Pang is the first man ever make me know, say, DJ business could take me around the world.
Yes.
He's the first man that's ever make a fly on a plane to go and do a dance in Canada.
Okay.
So I still have to give him that respect, because he's the man that started me that way. Yeah, but like doing an album for him, no, the money wasn't there.
No.
And I see the more get a good money from Junjo for do that album. And then now, I think coming now, where Junjo get like a deal. I think it was some green sleeves in England, where Junjo come back and say, buy a car come for Barrington Levy.
Yes.
A BMW. But him don't give Barrington Levy the car. The deal comes same time. So him say, anybody can do 60 record, get the BMW. And Yellow Man does the 60 song.
Straight.
And get
that BMW.
That BMW.
Yeah.
And that's because enough people don't even know that's how Yellow Man get a car.
Okay.
By doing 6 albums.
Wow.
Understand? Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about another early single around that time, a single called Non-Stop on the Answer Rhythm. That's the early blueprint for Bumadis.
Well, this is the record now where propel me. This lyrics propel me. Because even when I got to, like, even Gemini, Archie would say to myself, Burro, non-stop no man, it's DJ non-stop man. getting the crowd off of the, but them time I know through me I try to make my name. I don't even think about say this was a lyrics of what was supposed to be on a record. It's long after I do it for Jonjo and the answer.
Yes.
And if you even listen that time, if you listen back non-stop, I didn't even catch on it yet.
But the foundations for it were there.
Yeah. That's because that's in them days there. That was one of the record that come out with the most lyrics. Yeah, so you just keep talking lyrics. Yeah, so that's how non-stop come, cause that's why them call me the non-stop talker. Okay. Yeah, because this brother you not stop talk. Yeah, right, all when the rhythm finish. Me I one of the first one to do that.
Yes.
Well, when the rhythm finish, I'm a DJ same way. Till them forward the record again. I'm a gone again. Yeah. So that I want the lyrics to propel me and give me my name. Yeah. Cause that give me a name now. Say Burro Banton, the non-stop talker. Yeah, everybody want that lyrics when I go dance. Till say Ringo do it on record. Yeah, I'm kind of like more and straight way. So how that all come back now is like with the America now, me a Supercat. And Supercat build him label. Wild Apache. Yeah, and him said to me, say, Burro Boys, you do some song, And I say, alright. So him say, which song? Him say, a non-stop more back, I say, no, okay. Him say, yeah, man, that's the song now, man. Because that never really get to explore like what was supposed to happen. But when I even do it for Supercat now, and he get a contract from Columbia Records, but he wanted it to put my song on a compilation. And I didn't know about it. So about a white man named Bobby Kondors.
Yes.
Him asked me that lyrics, cause remember the song come named Bumadis now instead of non-stop. Yeah, named Bumadis. And this song now Supercat was number 1 first. But we them want to ram it up. And then now my song take Supercat out and number 1. And me be number 1. Yeah, some little argument are going on for the song, cause me really want money. And about Bobby Kondors and him say somebody him know a man I really want. But Bumadis now, but it's on a hip hop for Stepson Records. And tell me say yeah. And give me a figure and I say yeah. For real? Like no. So I say, oh, I'm going to get the acapella. And I say, you know, if you have the acapella, you have the acapella here. I'm the acapella. In living
colours.
Yeah, I'm the man that do the record, so I can't do back over my record. Well, that did make me and Cat kind of fall out for a while because Supercat want me now, when he hear about the project, he want me to scrap that project. And then he would give me back the money that I get out of the record first. I said no, because if you tell me this from long time, then the record will be yours because you really voice it for. Yeah, and I said it bring me on my part for a while. Yeah, so.
I want to take you back a little bit. Now, when you were on the Volcano sound, there was a big dance that took place on Maxfield Avenue. Volcano versus Jaro. This was a dance that I think was promoted by Ja Thomas, who was also making moves. Now, I kind of feel as though it's a bit like a football player who goes and plays against his former team. Tell me what happened on that night.
No, well, that night then I was like, when I leave my house and reach the party, I really got to DJ. I really got for DJ and Volcano.
Okay.
But when I reached to the dance, I noticed now, so Charlie Chaplin, DJ like he want to clash with me and my sound. I'm going to tell John just said, John don't really like that, you know. And it's like him not do nothing about it. So I'm just say, all right. This is since Charlie Chaplin want for clash me, watch me. Killamanjaro was my sound first. And when me leave Killamanjaro, nobody never give me a notice for leave. So I can go back anytime. So meanwhile, another dance. Volcano play the hour that I just. When the second hour come, I just say, no, I go back to Jaro, you know.
Right in the middle of the
dance? Right
in
the middle of the dance, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, mad everybody. Everybody, even my fans, say me is a madman. Because them come to listen to me Volcano. Okay, but when we end up now on Killamanjaro. And that's one of the biggest win I ever win, you know.
Wow.
Because if I ever lose that night, then I lose career. I lose Burro Banton, I lose everything.
That's a big risk that you took.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even when that dance finish, and I really find out say I really win that party there, I couldn't even go home. I leave from 121 Maxfield Avenue. I'm going to stand up in a skate land till everybody go and sleep and come back. And I'm still in skate land. Yes, because I was celebrating this win so much because this win is Burro Banton. I could lose Burro Banton that night. I could lose the whole career that night. And I end up win. Well, from this on, I really find out, say, I really mean the crowd love. Anything with me do, I say no. So it helped for bring Supercat.
Yes. This is where we go towards Skengdon, right? Yeah. Sturmars.
No, even before that, no. Me and Cat started to spar. Jaro. And I see it, so me and them are going now. And in them time, no, Supercat did have a bag of lyrics, but them couldn't ride the rhythm. That's why them call him the bareback rider. Him coming like a Indian that riding without a saddle. And you drop, ease off and him gone back on it again and get back into the groove again. Well, that's how him get. When me and him start learn for DJ like how me DJ, you know, like ride the rhythm. Yeah, so it propel him to a higher heights too. Yeah.
This was the time when you then moved to the United States of America, what you were just talking about, to New York, and this was the same time when Supercat, I think, migrated to America as well, right?
Well, the two of us leave Jamaica together.
On the same plane?
Yeah, on the same plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, because Cat was like my best friend. We was like, because early B was one of the greatest DJ Jamaica ever see, lyrical wise. Because he was really, I don't know that brother ended up being a DJ, because that brother didn't have the education like that. To me, the man should have worked in a bank or somewhere up there. You know, but he ended up being a DJ. So film songs them, really they put together. All of them now.
Well constructed.
Yeah. So, then no, but like the road boy thing, how we dress, he didn't dress like we. He was more like a Rasta. But me and Supercat.
You had the style as well.
Yeah. The same kind of Clark style and arrow shirt and bad boy looks. So I said no, me and Cat start spar. You know, we end up America. Yeah.
And that's obviously how you managed to make the connection with Bobby Kondors, Massive B.
Well, no, with Massive B, you know. This are the easiest whatever come with because it's a party me going on. And like somebody said to me, say, Burro, because I'm the only white man at the party.
Okay.
So I'm easy for spot. And that man said to me, say, Burro, the brother, go heal him up, man. Because I work on double BLI. Them time the time him not come at 97.8. So I'm go over there and heal him and I say, yeah man, I know you in a Burro and what did they attack? So same time look for me and say to me, say, I want some dub with you, you know. But sometimes I didn't even pre-bought the dub thing too much. All me and him I go get for link up now. Me in America and at Christmas come and I have no money. And I sit down and say to myself, say, oh, I can't get that money upon Christmas morning now. And I remember back now, say, you know, Bobby Khan has the same one, some dub. Someone just look up back him number and call him upon the Christmas morning and him said to me, say, yeah man, I still want to dub them, you know. So I said, I can do them now.
On Christmas morning?
On Christmas morning. Him say, yeah, but how you going to reach to me? Because I'm in the Bronx and he's in Brooklyn. And I said to him, say, here we go on now. Just tell me where you're there. And I never forget him. He said 21 St. James Plains between D Carb and Lafayette. And I said to him, say, in about an hour time, look out for me. He said, no man, snow, snow up on the road, man. And I said, no, just look out for me, man. Somebody jump on a D train from the Bronx. Reach in Brooklyn. When I reach in Brooklyn now, I go out in the street and I try to catch a cab. So I cab, some little cab we appear African drive. So in the morning I said there's $5 for carry go up there. And none of them won't stop for me. Some of them start walking in the snow. Go straight up. Lafayette, straight up. Then I find D-Carb and Lafayette. And I got the phone box and ring him and say, Bobby Kondors, me outside, you know. And him say, all right. Come inside the complex for him there. I will go inside and on the Christmas morning there when I reach at the door, him just bust a bottle of champagne. And say, Merry Christmas, man. Yeah. But all this time, one time if I do the dub them, it's hard to remember Bobby Kondors. Does he say? Because more I say Bobby Khan. But I'm still take the dub them.
Okay.
And him said to me, say, yes, yeah, Supercat not so good song. He would have like somebody for work with.
Together.
Yeah, I said, all right. Now we start, so we build a rhythm. But who build the rhythm now didn't know about reggae and dancehall. Them know about hip hop. So the rhythm more come out like a hip hop rhythm. Yeah.
Was this the first recording that you did? Big Man Chill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first one. Then when the record, I look at him and say to him, say, Bobby, if you really want, if we work together, come we go to Jamaica, man. Because the real thing at Jamaica. So him link up Ranking Joe and license some rhythm from Rankin Joe. Cuss and them rhythm them. So now, I say now, we come to Jamaica now, and the thing kick off. Yeah, you know. Yeah, so we start make some record. And when we make take a set first, me never even know the take a set really was so big. Until me and him make a tour to Japan.
Okay.
So when we got to, because I wasn't even on the tour. So I just started to work with him and him said, Burro, I'm going to Japan, you know. Here what happened? I get a plane ticket for you. I will go to Japan. I want to go down to Japan. You can open the show them and give me $500 a show. And it was 6 shows. But the first night now, when we reached Japan on the first night, because I have a group named Blasey Blah from Brooklyn that they sold gold in Japan. So it was their tour.
Their tour.
But the first night on the tour now, me open and the place mash up. So when I come off of the stage, I box some Japanese and them say, I want some dub. So I leave and don't even tell Bobby Kondors them say, I go do some dub. But when me come back now, not the short space of time, I come see everything I pack up. I know the only thing we kill dance like that in Jamaica. I must see that fight or something. So I said to Jabba, that's the selector. I'm going to talk on the mic for Bobby. And I said, Jabba, what happened? And I said, you know, the Yankee boy, they talk about your Burro, man. And I cuss up on the stage and I say, if I that reggae shit you love, it's Burro Banton you love, everything, them can't hold the crowd. Everybody walk out on them. So him look for me now and when we reach, the hotel back him say, here what happened now, Burro? We are going to spin round the tour now. Instead of you be the opening act, you have to close it. I'm going to say, no, Bobby, it need more money now to do this. And him say, no, I decided of a contract already and everything. So, I never really want to do it like that. But when I go to the hotel room by myself, I lie down and think and I say, at my age, I don't think nobody that spend that money that Bobby has spent on me at my age. So I can do back something for you. So I call him on the phone and say, Bobby, all right, turn it round. I will close them. But the only thing what my wife do for me, just make sure say, one day, I gotta be for me for the dub. I'm sorry, I'm gonna set everything for you, man. And I said, one time, the tour done, I'm gonna get my dub day. This is one of the first day I really gonna get paid for my music. Cause I'm gonna do, when I start the dub, I remember Jabba come in and say, you can't do all 3 verses by every song in the Burro. Because me about 48 sound out the door that wait for you know.
Wow.
And I say, what? So I start the 2-2 verse. Then me DJ up my belly, man. Yeah, everything, every muscle gone. Can't do no more. And I see the money now and can't collect it. And Bobby said to me, say, all right, I'll get it for you, man. And said to the Japanese, them say, oh, Burro Vice gone. So what am I going to do now? Take all of the dub them. I just pay for them and then send them a mail, give me a mailing address and all of them can take more even better because the dub will come out now like the record
them.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I same do it. That one time we go so now and we done God the pay I get in a yen. I mean, I don't know anything about yen. And when I reach the airport now and I change it out now to US dollars, I'm going to get 27,000. I say, wow, I don't even know so much money I'm making. That even one of the brother what was there to her, I asked him, say, "Bro, what is a dub? I could do a dub?" Because I mean you get the pay now. So now I'll come back now. I reach New York back now. I start talk about car. So I buy a car. And Baba Kondors say, nice to have a car still, you know. But when you buy the car, where you go and park it? I'm say, and said to myself, but you think about a house first, man, before you think about a car. Well, I said no. I just take what him say, because he made have it for him own house already.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I see it, so he might put me in the right direction. Yeah, so. Yeah, I come to Jamaica now, I just come on that up I'm thinking. For have a house first. So I can rest your head. Because in them time they when you're there at Jamaica, you never ever get paid. You know, so I said now we come now and everything matches up. And my life start the right way.
Yeah,
you know.
Because it was Bobby Kondors, the Massive B, that released your second album, the original Banton, which had some of those songs that you mentioned, songs like Washington Session, Bible Again as well. And you've worked together with Bobby Kondors ever since, so even in more recent times, Badder Than Them, The Don, it seems like that relationship with Massive B is coming like family.
Well, to me, as I say family, you're right. Because it's like I find my brother in a different color.
Okay.
You understand? Yeah, because that brother, you know, he never ever tell me nothing foolish. I'm always like, try to keep him on the right track. Yeah, you know. Yeah, because when we do this now, you just call a record now. To me, one of my biggest records is Badder Than Them, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bigger than Bumadis. Bumadis is Burro Banton. Yeah, but Badder Than Them propel me to a heights where I could close any festival. You got it's Burro have to close it. You know? Yeah, man. Bobby Kondors, him always the right way. Yeah, and push me in the right way.
Right.
Yeah. You know?
Speaking of Bumadis, there was a third version of that as well that came about around about 1999, 2000. How did that come about? With Steely and Clean.
Well, no. It's true. Steely, it want that record from so long, and I didn't even know.
Okay.
You know? So when Steely get to find out, say, Supercat never really release that is Bumadis because they wanted to be on the live
compilation.
Yeah. So Steely Bill a Rhythm, which I didn't even know about Street Sweeper. I was in Jamaica, me and Jabba, and I wanted to go back to New York. Bobby buy me ticket, everything. And I'm going back to America. And then it's like, him said to me, say, I want 2 dub with Cabra. And I said, I have to find Cabra for do them 2 dub. I don't care where Cabra there. Because if Bobby just do something for me, I try to back something for him, positive. So I go down a dub studio down half a tree road named Sapphire.
Shelter Rock.
Yeah, I say. I ask say Cabra and them say Cabra they run a steal, you know. I say steal, which I steal there. So someone tell me what steal is I end up on a steal. Oh my God, I know. I go inside now. I ask the Cabra. Steal say Cabra, I not see Cabra for a while in a borough. But it's like God just send you come in. So I say one hour steal and him say Burro going to the voice room. I say no steal I'm not doing a song now, you know. And him say to me say him take out a key and for him engineer. Him throw it give him engineer and say lock the grill. Cause if Burro think him now come out and give him a song, we're going to fight in it today. Him have a lights the firearm, take out him firearm and put down like when I tell have a mixing board or so and put it down in that and say, oh, Burro, last time this we are going to talk, you know. Yeah, we got the friendship I got done here so now. Some say to him say, Steely, you really serious? And so you mean man? So I say which song you want? I said to myself, my favorite song man, Bumadis man. One of that man I gotta do it for me. And I said to him, said, Steely, no man, I whole song that man. I have the part 2 to it. And him say, DJ the part 2. I'm a DJ it. And him think. And I say, more on the old song. So true me know this song is so much. When it's going to the studio and what a year come out to be this big record, you know it's practice, me I practice.
One take.
Yeah. One my practice I go down. No one say me I warm up my voice for do it the right way. When I reach halfway, I stop and say, still run back the rhythm there. I say, no Burro. Me no want it no better. Me no want it no worse. And the right thing that you do look a while is just pick up back with the same energy for me now. So when I finish, I'm start mouth me now and say, you could have never come back to Jamaica. So when I reach out at the doorway, I look back upon him and I say, still the man back piece of this music thing, you know. Them look upon me and say to me, say, then I hear that you just do. But me not believe in it. Because me do this record there so much time already. For my youth, me I do, Bumadis. So, him said to me, say, same thing you do. So I say, oh, now first him say, yeah man, you get a chance now, but it's not you right now. And I say, so, and him say, Zebra. And I say, because me never know Zebra, you know. So like, I look over him and say, what is Zebra? So he play a Zebra song. And I say, no man, not a Zebra that man, a tiger that man. And he say, same thing, you're the American so much, you forgot all music. Come out and be sure and go where you go. So I'm serious and the man say, a Zebra go run the place, you know. So we go baby dub them and find Cabra, do the dub and go far now. Me up there if I go look a while. I'm go a place there. Lions Den. I'm about a singer named Youth and Green. And I said to myself, what going for you in America, Burro? And I say, nothing much. Same way. Box bout. DJ for years at the desk of eat food. And I say, you know, you have the biggest record in Jamaica now. I'm say, which record that? But him can't remember the record name.
Right.
So me really feel like that it was just a talk. You know, cause you know when you buck up your bridge out the road, enough time, you know, settings. Where it's like Sly and Robbie have them birthday. I place them SOBs. And Bobby Kondors say, come on, we're going to give Sly and Robbie them a strength. So I'm going to go around there. And but how Sly and Robbie them do for them thing. You can't really go up on the stage as a singer or a DJ and tell them what to play. Any rhythm we play, that you have a DJ upon. So I'm going to catch a rhythm and go up and the place mash up and I come off. Now I'm come off now. Tony Rebel. Send come call me. I'm going to check him. I must say, same thing, man. I say, Burro, what are you doing in America? I'm going to tell him, say, I say, Burro, you have the biggest song in Jamaica, you know. I'm going to say, which song that? I said, no, it just DJ a little while, man.
Okay.
And that's the biggest, because I don't even remember stealing the song, you know. Because I never really want to do that song. Then you have a youth now where him come from where she come from. And he, more time, him help her with my son. So I call the house now, Fair House. And Simon answer. And before me even answer, I say, hello, Burro. He say, Burro, you have the biggest song, man. Wait. Somebody say, what's song name? And like him just goes down and say, stop a little bit. You hear up on the radio what they say? Right away, I'm just say, Jamaica for me now, you know. Yeah, so I'm start try pack up one and two things. Head back to my home now. When I reach Jamaica, yeah, some little man right, them that hang out on the airport. And them tell me, say, Burro, you have the baddest song, you know. And tonight, Stone Love anniversary, you know. So, me and Jabba come, and we'll go. Stone Love anniversary, but we're going to change the whole thing now. It's like, when me in the party, because I don't remember Street Sweeper, you know. I never really remember the rhythm. First time I hear the rhythm, I DJ Bank, for months again, I never hear that. So, him play. The selector play. I say, bruh. And like him stop it. And talk two things about Zebra. But when I go play now, Street Sweeper with Zebra, him ball out and say, I wish DJ mash up Sting. I never remember. Everything I was stealing that said to me now, just come right back. And say him say, Zebra, go match up the place, you know. And I just say, alright. One more time I don't even remember, say my song upon Street Sweeper. Yeah, then them play a Cape Town. I'm on a mission, it's what is my purpose? For see the youth, them. And then, one of my virgin come and go so, and juke me in my side and say, hey, Burro. I'm start quarreling him and say, like I tell him, say, oh man, I juke man at them place there, you know. And the man I have penny with me, I say. Him say, listen this now. And G-Force attack on Stone Love. And like him, I say, he'd have a veteran DJ in Jamaica. Because him don't even know me in the party too. And talk a lot of things about me. And when the man put it on and say, I'm going to hear the first part, and him say, now this is the original Burro Banton for Years to Cry Without Tears. I do that for about 10 times straight before him drop the song. And when him do drop the song, and I look all about around me, so I appear fire, I see. One amount of torch and light and all kind of thing. While when the song him play 3 times, and when it take off now. I mean, and Jabba go at the party there. I just look up at Jabba. I say, Jabba, here we go on. You know, no more song can't play that answer for sweet me. I go by here, I can plan my life, you know. And him not believe me neither. But just start showing some other man that come from New York, Jagabee them will play sound too. I'm just say Jagabee the power with them man. Cause me I leave and I just go through the gate and get a cab and go home. And that's Bumadis.
Bumadis.
Yeah, Bumadis. Yeah, Bumadis really start me. Different in a Jamaica, you know. Cause it take me to some heights. Cause I don't feel like I ever feel like another song ever bigger than Bumadis. Hear why I feel so. How much time I do this song? This is the only song I ever know. A man do so much time and then it gets so big. It really be Burro Banton. This song can make me now. You know, yeah.
I mean, over the years, you've done so much work with other producers, people like Frenchie, One Love Lampadred, Irie Heights, Reggae Roast. 5 decades in the game and you're still recording. How do you, Burro Banton, stay grounded and inspired after all these years?
Excuse me. Well, to me, I'm born for it. This is an inborn thing. I ask myself that question though. Cause up to now I'm still voicing 45. You know?
Still voicing dub plates?
I'm still voicing dub plate, but dub plate is not even that to me like a 45. Cause at my age, I don't see plenty like my age can do it.
True. And the voice is still there. The voice is still there.
Excuse me. That never leave. It never leave me. That's why I say it's a gift. That's a gift to me from God. I don't care how much DJ here come and them voice change. When you hear Burro on the record, it's the same Burro you hear from when I was a youth until today.
Till today, yeah. Well, look, I really want to give thanks to you for sharing just some of the history of Burro Banton for our viewers. Your contribution is immense and it's inspired thousands of younger DJs ever since. So we just give thanks for everything that you're doing and yeah, more health, more strength, more 45s.
Well, to me, I'll say I'm going on. Keep going on.
Never stop.
Yeah, because even right now, I got 45 to go and voice. You know? Yeah, the only thing, I just want to can build the lyrics.
Yes.
Is that keep you up. Can build that lyrics. That's why I say I'm inspired. You know, it's like a Bob Marley. If he was here, I feel like he would still doing record.
Yeah.
Because if you listen Bob Marley songs up to today, so much song he make from that time, but it look like it was for today.
Today.
You understand?
Timeless.
Yeah. So I think that singer is one of the singer where I emulate myself off. I feel like, I'm inspired like a Bob Marley.
Well, look, once again, we give thanks for everything that you've done so far and keep doing what you're doing. Give thanks.
Bless up. Yeah, man. God bless, you know? God, the blessing of God keep me. Yeah. It's not like really mankind thing or them thing, or that's God. Because without God and give me this voice, it couldn't be no other way. Yeah. So bless up. Peace.
Respect.
Reggae interviews. Word sound power.